Hey YouTube, my name is Victor Liu and welcome to Wxrst Generation, and today will be our very first episode. The reason why I started this YouTube channel is because I've always wanted to review anime, but I just never had the time to. But since coronavirus is pretty much destroying the world right now and we can't really leave our houses, I figured what better time to finally give back to the anime community that helped me make who I am today. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're going to start today with One Piece chapter 993. I figured One Piece is the perfect anime to start with because it's my favorite and one that I've been watching, reading for years now consistently. So it's the anime I know the most about, so might as well start with it. So we start today with the cover page of Lola and Gotti finally getting married. Lola is finally getting married, y'all. I know, it's crazy. I never thought she would ever, get married, period, but there's somebody out there for everybody, even you, so never give up hope. So I'm glad she's finally getting married because honestly, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of tired of this cover page, this cover art with Capone in them. It's been going on for way too long now, and I think it's time for something else. Honestly, so hopefully after this wedding, they can finally head to Wano, if that's their next destination, and go back up to Straw Hats, because we all know they're going to need everybody they can in order to take down Kaido. And hopefully they get there fast enough because things are about to get really turned up. So we start pretty much a chapter on, some regular, fan service. We have the civilians finally celebrating their fire festival, which is, if I was them, I'd be celebrating too, because one day out of the entire year you finally get to eat or drink water or something. And I know they're grateful for every second of that, so I can't really blame them for being really happy. It's kind of funny that, some of the civilians are pretty much imagining a battle's going on right now, or there's an actual battle going on right now, people are literally dying. So that's what makes me think that eventually that the battle on Oginashima Island is eventually going to be to the mainland, you know what I'm saying? They have to somehow take the battle over there, because in all of Oda's previous fights, the big battle always ends up somewhere where there's a lot of civilians, so they're able to witness the Straw Hats save them, you know what I mean? Because that kind of just helps build their legacy and kind of verifies them, because the world government hasn't been really about saving people, and the Straw Hats are usually the ones who always end up saving them. So Oda's always been consistent with that. It was the scene in Dressrosa after he beat Doflamingo. All the civilians were there in order to witness this. So I think that eventually the fight's going to end up over there, because, there has to be a way for people to realize that the world government isn't the only people that can save them, and to get the Straw Hats more of, to justify them more inside their cause to become the Pirate King, because if the civilians are behind you, then who could really stop you? Exactly. So, that was a good scene to see, So eventually, I feel the Fire Festival is really going to get shaken up, but somehow the battle gets taken over there. And that's where things are really, really, really going to get crazy, because we're going to have more space, once of all, for everybody to start coming through and, just cause a whole bunch of more chaos. But, we'll see. We'll see. We don't really know for sure, but I think eventually we'll get there. Okay, so let's head over to Oginashima Island. And I ain't gonna lie, Oda's really, really keeping his word. This war is really gonna be one of the biggest wars, period. There's just so much chaos going on around everywhere. I don't even know what's going on. Luffy's fighting everybody when he actually has to get to the top of the skull. Sanji's trying to slow him down or keep him from fighting people, but Luffy doesn't really listen. So I like how Jinbei actually made an introduction into the chapter, and now it's the three of them trying to get to the top, because I just feel like Luffy kind of looks to Jinbei for wisdom, because I don't know if you ever noticed, but every time Jinbei appears, Luffy's just extra happy, he's always Jinbei, Jinbei, so I think Jinbei has to be there, because Luffy will, listen to him more. Jinbei's the older father figure in a way, even though he's a shark and a man. But yeah, so I'm glad. Hopefully they get there. What I think they're gonna get there at the last possible minute, because Oda likes to make those last minute introductions. To build the hype. For the next exciting scene that's coming. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So Yamato still hasn't caught up with Shinobu and Momonosuke, and that's just annoying. That's been going on for way too many chapters now. I kind of just want them to just yo, Yamato's trying to help you. Luffy later literally told you guys that Yamato was there to help. So I don't know why she's been running from him this entire time. Well, him, her, him. But I think we're finally going to get to the point where they're going to be able to trust him because Shinobu's been taken out. And Momonosuke, he's not really strong enough right now in order to, like, defend himself or save her. So it's cool to see Yamato take out that person who's attacking them. It makes it more exciting because now we're going to get to see some more of Yamato's amazing abilities. So I'm really juiced for that fight. I think the scene with Briscoin's gorilla smile fruit was hilarious. Like, I don't know how do you grow a gorilla? Like, it's just funny to me because I like how Oda just takes those little moments and just like sprinkles them inside intense situations and just like make everything seem like not as bad, but literally around them everybody's freaking dying right now. And it's very, very, very crazy war. So it's good to see that. A little old-fashioned One Piece like comedy that it's known for. But yeah, we have Luffy and Sanji arguing. Luffy trying to fight everybody, and it's like, yo, bro, we literally gotta get to the top. Like, what are you doing? Like Kinemon and them up there freaking about to get wrecked. So like, what are you doing, Luffy? But Luffy wants to fight everybody. So I'm glad Jinbei came into the scene because I feel like Jinbei just adds that like more adult like wisdom, and Luffy kind of needs that from Jinbei. For somebody to really just be grounded. Because with Sanji and Zoro, it's like he's known them for a long time. He's very comfortable with them, but Jinbei has been around, so he just offers that like more adult wisdom to So I think eventually they're gonna be able to get to the top with Jinbei now, and eventually we want to keep watching panels of Luffy running forever to God's nowhere. It's like you're Rubber Man, bro. Just stretch to the top. Finally, we finally get an end to the chase of Yamato, Shinobu, and Momonosuke. That was so annoying to me. Like, I kind of feel that was unnecessary. Like, we didn't really need so many chapters of that. Like, Luffy literally told you guys, hey, Yamato's gonna help you guys. So I don't know why she was running away from him all this time. I get it, Yamato is kind of crazy. But, crazy in a good way. Not crazy in, like, a bad way. Like, she actually wants to help and she cares about Momonosuke. So, I wonder if Momonosuke's gonna start calling her daddy eventually. That'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it? Like, Daddy Yamato. Well, anyway, I'm glad, it's finally over. Shinobu gets taken out. I guess he should have used a Kage Bunshin no Jutsu because those arrows look like they hurt. And Yamato comes in for the save with, I think that was a Thunder Bagua, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm glad that we're going to get to see more action from Yamato. Like, I've been really waiting for that. Like, Yamato, I want you to be part of the crew. Like, that would be so amazing. Like, I don't know, Yamato just has that, like, cool vibe to her. Or him. Or him, her. Her pretending to be him. There we go. So, Yamato and the crew, I feel would just fit that dynamic because she has that, like, wacky thing about her. And her backstory is kind of sad. Like, Kaido probably treated her like trash, so we might go more in depth about that later. But for now, I'm Yamato for the Nakama. I'm part of that crew. I'm part of that team. Hopefully we can make it happen. So, I'm just glad we get to see more Yamato's moves soon. I think she's going to take them all out because those are fodder, right? I think pretty sure Luffy's already fought them or taken them out. The armor crew. I don't think so, but I feel like I've seen one of the guys before. So, we'll see. And Yamato knows them in and out. Like, it's pretty much her father's crew, so she already knows their weaknesses. So, it shouldn't be that much of a fight. And hopefully Yamato can help Momonosuke reunite with his sister Hiyori because we've all been waiting for that for a long time. But we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm glad that Yamato's about to put in some work. And a lot of people are about to get smacked. Okay, y'all. It's finally time for Kaido to go on his rampage. Like, this has been kind of crazy seeing the samurai, like, punk him around for a little bit. But you already know in the anime, when a villain starts talking his shit, you feel me? Like, you guys are about to, whoo! Y'all thought y'all were strong? Y'all thought y'all could take me out? Nah, you already know it's about to go down. And by the end of the chapter, it kind of went down a little bit. It's just a little taste. I already knew the samurai weren't going to be able to defeat Kaido because that's kind of just ridiculous. Like, he's an emperor, you feel me? Like, one of the Yonko. You guys are not going to beat him. You guys aren't even, like, captains. They did a pretty good job, but I just feel like the samurai have to take a loss because, Luffy has to show up and save them, and kind of, like, show that he's the pirate king, that he's able to fight for them. And that's how it should have been. So I'm glad that they had that little time in order to like fight Kaido and get some hits in. But we all know like Kaido's not going down that easy. So I guess it's kind of confirmed that Kaido was having some type of mental issue because of Oda's like humbling him all those years ago. He was probably feeling that scar just throbbing in his chest. Oh my gosh. So that was really like interfering with his hockey. So that's why I'm pretty sure that's why they were getting all those hits in. But I mean, that's over now. It kind of seems that Kyle's finally like starting to get his mental back together. So, it's about to be a bloodbath, a very bloody bath. I kind of hope a couple of them go down. Like, like if one person dies, I don't think that's really like, it doesn't really show Kyle's strength that much. I feel like we have to lose maybe like a couple of them. This is just like drive it home when they finally beat him. But it's sad to see that Kiku lost her arm. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy. Like, invisible sight. Like, what other powers does he have? We haven't even seen Kaido's hybrid form yet. Like, y'all really thought y'all was going to beat him? No. Like, that's not going to happen. I think it's pretty cool, though, that Kaido's mentioned that scar, that how they weren't able to, like, reopen his wound. Because that sets Zoro up to come through and just, woo, cause some damage with Emma. Like, I don't know what movie's gonna use, but Zoro's gonna open up that wound, I guarantee you. And pretty much Kaido was just roasting them this entire like chapter. You guys are weak. You guys aren't able to do it. You guys aren't Odin. And by the end, he kind of proves his point. Like with that roar and sending out those invisible sights. Like, man, like they really have it in for them. But I mean, if anything, they could take pride in the fact that they were able to like push him back and get some blows in on him. But I mean, just wasn't enough. Just wasn't enough. But we all know Luffy's going to come in at the last minute and save them from other destruction like he always does. Because it's Luffy, like, he has to shine. He has to be the strongest character. He has to have the best, coolest moments. So we'll see. But also just Luffy. I think a lot of people are going to make it up there at the same time. I think Law's going to make it up there at the same time. Kid and Zoro somehow. Because, he's always getting lost. I don't know how he's going to end up there. But some way, somehow, it's going to go down. And then the fight's going to be taken over by the real captains and the real pirates. And I think eventually that fight's going to lead back to the Fire Festival. So that's how everything's going to connect back to the original beginning. So, I mean, I'm juiced to see how the rest of this is going to play out. I feel like we're almost at the end of Arc 3. I think it's Arc 3, right? Of the Wano arc. No, Arc 3. Or Chapter 3 of the Wano arc. Act 3. Oh, yeah. That's what I meant. Act 3. We might move on to Act 4. And Act 4 where everything's really about to go down. Where they have all the big players coming in, I believe. Hopefully we get to see the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Capone and them finally come through. Blackbeard. But we're just going to wait. I'm just going to have to wait and see. But I just wanted to say thank you for being part of my very first chapter review. As you can tell, it's kind of like, I'm just kind of trying to get the hang of it. But I don't think I did that bad. But if you think I did pretty good, you want to keep up with me and watch me grow my channel, I'd love to have you on this journey with me. This is Wxrst Generation. Subscribe, give me a like, leave a comment. I want to get to know you guys. And you guys have a good day, okay? So, let's get it. Until next week.